what you want. I like to have like a little lead in first a little bit. And when you draw, try to avoid these solid lines. Remember, it's a sketch, so, you know, break up the line a little bit. It looks good. So there's that angle there, and then I'm gonna, you know, probably come up halfway, a little less than halfway on my page for the hillside here. It's kind of swooping down there like that. Alright, so I like this kind of tree from the side here. I'm going to draw that. I like to exaggerate the leans of trees a little bit. I don't like to draw anything straight up and down always. Especially a tree right here. To lean it. Look at it, just nice kind of broken line, nice and loose. It's got some little dimples in the tree. It's got little marks on it, whatnot. So the leaves that are coming down, I'm just going to draw a few. You know, don't draw them all the same. If you're drawing one leaf, don't draw them all like that. There's some facing sideways, there's some facing right at you. So kind of look at the shape of them. You know, some leaves here. Some are sideways, some are larger, some are more flat. See how loose I am? It's just really like that. There's another branch here. Okay, there's that. There's some bushes here. When you're drawing the bushes in or a tree, don't go like this. You know, make it a solid shape around there. Break up the contour a little bit. Grass here, I'm just going to go like this from the outside contour. I'll lay more detail in later. A little grass here, little grass. Got some little plants here, little things that do dust. Now for the grass here, I'm going to just imply some texture to it. Now when you're implying texture, don't do the same mark again and again and again. Just keep repeating this, evenly distanced and evenly spaced. Don't do that. Do some long lines, some short ones, and kind of randomly have them at different distances. Don't don't have this kind of uniformity. You're just looking for randomness. Okay, a couple of little flowers here and there. Just imply the texture on it. Some bushes over here. Now look, I'm just kind of doing the contour of the bush, but you know, I'm not drawing it a straight line. I'm just kind of coming like this. Some long lines, some short lines. Don't go like this. I see you guys doing this even mark, this even space. That's not a broken line. That's it. You might as well just draw a straight line if you're going to do that. And I'm going to draw some of the texture inside in here, but leave room for some shadow because there's a lot of shadow in there too. Okay, that's about all I'm going to do for the front. So I'm going to take, right away I'm going to take 20%. And the very first thing I'm going to do is knock out all my background. That's everything in the background that's not the foreground that I didn't draw. Oh, you know what, I forgot to do this. Little poles right there. I'm going to do this. Doesn't really look like a bird right now. Yeah. Kind of a pile of feathers on the pole there.
I was just going to rest.
Alright, that's enough of that. So I'm going to take everything that's the background and knock it down. I'm going to take a 20% and just knock down my background. I'm going to carve into the space, into this contour of what's in the foreground. I'm not just going to go flat around it. I'm going to use it to define the contour a little bit. And just gonna knock all this background down. If somebody can, oh, never mind. Okay, no, I like the shadow. Yeah, no, yeah, keep your shadow. Stay still. So I'm trying to leave white on some of these leaves. I'm gonna get some dark, but you know, light's hitting. If you look at the leaves, there's some leaves in light, there's some leaves in dark. So you don't have to have them all just light. Later on I'm gonna go into it with a darker value. I wanna carve into these, to the contour of this grass here. It's bleeding a little bit. It's like that one, the brand new. Snap with this whole background, take all the white out. So 20 is a good one to start with. It doesn't matter if it's too streaky back here. I'm gonna draw into this anyway. As long as all the white's gone. Nice, solid, steady. There we go. So there it is. I got all the white out of my background. Now I'm going to come in with a 40%. Now I'm going to put a gradient. I'm going to put a gradient on my ground plane in front here. I'm going to put a gradient. So the lights, where's the light coming from? This way, this way. So on the entire ground, on the ground plane, it's going to throw like a 40% gradient. Start over here and just do that really long flick stroke. So I'm just going way out, just like this, really long. Even though you really can't see that, I want to give a sense of light direction and give a sense of light movement across the area. So it's going from dark to light this way. And then if you get streaky, these are brand new. If you get a little streaky, you can take a 10% and even out the tone a little bit. That. So I'm going to jump in right with a 50% now, and I'm going to go into the shadows that are in the foreground. So look at there's a shadow side of the tree with the 50%. There's some shadows going across the tree too. Just try to look at the value pattern, what's going on in there. So some of these leaves are in shadow, and I'm going to actually draw in kind of like a silhouette of some other leaves in the background. Some leaves that are in shadow. Like there's some leaves over here, like this, that are in shadow. Like that. Some are in shadow, some are in light. Bob Ross. Little happy trees. There's a darkness underneath these bushes here a little bit. A bit of darkness here. I'm going to get some of these leaves dark, leave some in the light, and some dark. Draw in kind of a silhouette shape. There's some of the leaves in here, like so. Try to make it random kind of feeling. Express more than define. Suggest more than define. There we go. So under the grass, if you look at the grass, everything's darker on the bottom of it. I'm just going to kind of do some flicks in here. I might come into this grass a little bit more and add a little bit more detail. but I kind of want to move